hit record. So today we're going to talk about, let me share my screen, about just like social media posting and our customer avatars. So, excuse my cucumber. Oh, children.
Sorry, puppy problems with the child.
Okay. I figured as much. Okay, so the first thing is I shared this in the Facebook group. But it is a PDF that, of course, oh, here it is. Okay, can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is when we're like posting on social media, it's important to like know who you're talking to, because like no post is going to be effective if we don't have a good idea of who we want to be engaged with on it, like who we want to be interacting. So we all need to have our own ideal customer avatar. So like the ideal person who you think that you will work best with, sort of, and then we kind of branch off from there. But what a lot of people do is they make their posts just like out there to anybody, and I'll take anybody, and you know, whatever, which obviously we would accept anyone who would come to us for help. But when you're making posts, you want to make sure that you have like an idea in mind of the type of person that you want. So more often than not, it's going to be someone who's similar to you, because you can then anticipate what they're going to struggle with, what their needs are going to be, all that kind of stuff. So as you sit down to think about, when I did this, I basically was describing myself. Because those are the types of people who you can relate to most. Like I can't necessarily relate to a woman who has 3 kids and has been divorced and is 50. You know, like I'm not going to, I can still try to help her, but we're not going to have as much in common, like off the bat, as somebody who is in her late 20s, married without kids and has a dog, you know? So figuring out who your sort of like demographic is the first step to being able to have like effective posts. So this sheet is super helpful in like figuring out who that person is, so that when you go to post, you know who you're talking to. So I would suggest printing this out and just spending like 15, 20 minutes when you have some spare time and thinking about these things. So thinking about age, income, gender, marital status, psychographic. What is that? I haven't even heard that word. That might be made up. Values, beliefs, all that kind of stuff. So describe, like, and then describing the person. So creating like a character in your mind for who your ideal customer is. And then literally like they give you the tools to just list out all of these things about her, so that then you can move forward and speak to her. So like, what kind of people does she follow? What kind of food does she like to eat? What kind of car does she drive? So then when you think about those things, you can then also, especially if it's someone who you relate to, which I would recommend doing, you can tap into like, what does that person struggle with? What does that person need help with? What is that person going through on a daily basis that prevents them from being their healthiest and their most vibrant self? Like, how is she talking to herself? What is she telling herself about her life? So like if you are someone who like a lot of this for me, like when I started doing this was like, I had been following Joe around and we had been moving, and I was sort of like at the disposal of the Marine Corps, and like whatever they wanted, I was like victim to that. But what I realized after I like did my first program and stuck to my first challenge group was like, I'm in control of what happens to me. I'm in control of everything day to day. Like, yeah, our life and where we live, I'm not in control of all the time, but I can be in control of my attitude, and I can be in control of how my physical body is and how healthy I am. So, like, those kinds of things. Like, the story that I used to tell is that I didn't have any control over my life, but the reality is that I do. So, like, how do you speak to, like, for me, how do I speak to that person who feels like she doesn't have any control and help her see that she does? So how can my posts do that? So like thinking about your avatar and what those people struggle with, how can you speak to them and just kind of give hope? Like that's what we're trying to do with all of these things, is giving hope for a better future than what we have right now. So like getting detailed about that kind of stuff. And then just kind of writing a journal entry, you could do that if you wanted to. So going through this there's a few pages here, going through all of these things. What are her fears? What are her friends like? All these kinds of things. So I know that before I started really thinking about narrowing down who I was talking to, I'm going to mute for a minute. But so before I like narrowed down who I was talking to, it was really difficult for me to like figure out who to invite and figure out who to reach out to and just like say, hey, what's up? Because I was like looking at everyone. And when you're looking at everyone, not everyone is going to relate to you, and that's okay. So you need to find the people who will. So this would be, it's kind of long. I don't know how many pages there are, 9 pages. So you don't have to do all of it, but it's just good stuff to think about and look at as you try to get better at social media posting. Okay, let's see. Do you guys have any questions about that thing?
No.
So then, where is it? Okay. So when it comes to like what to post, what are you most passionate about? Like, what are the things that an outside person would see and describe about you? And like the things that are sort of like defining aspects of your life. So like, are you a mom? Are you a nurse? Are you a pet mom? Are you a wino? Like all these things. And those are kind of the things you want to hone in on and have your posts relate back to, so that you can be sharing a piece of you with your posts, so that people can feel like you are relatable to them and like to your ideal customer. When they see that you're a nurse, you're a mom, you're this, you're that, they will be like, oh, me too. I should pay more attention to her. I should see what she's doing. And then that makes it easier for when you're sharing about your nutrition and your workouts to share how Beachbody is simplifying your life and helping you enjoy the other things that define who you are. Because all of us have more to us than just, wanting to work out and eat well. There's all kinds of layers. So we want to be sort of exploiting those layers and sharing about those things in particular. So I thought these were really good examples of when you like want to be sharing like a personal post, and like, or when we're wanting to draw people in. So we don't want to be sharing like a corporate photo of Autumn on the 21 Day Fix box with like the sale price, right? We want to be showing like our results or talking about our results. You don't necessarily have to be posting before and after pictures, but you can be posting a picture that says, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I found Core to Force. I feel energized and like a total badass, and my confidence has risen like through the roof since I started this program just a couple short weeks ago, or something like that. And you can talk about the programs and their effect on your life without posting the like the actual images of the program. So instead of posting like a list of things, showing people, so like I've been trying to like take pictures with the containers for my posts occasionally, not all the time because I don't want to like be tacky, But like I'm going to put a picture up in a little bit of my snack this afternoon that's like, oh my gosh, this is so much fruit in this container. Like, look how much fruit came out into my yogurt today. So like that kind of thing is something that people can relate to, but also like isn't too tacky Beachbody.
You and your fruit.
I know. And we were just talking about that. I thought of you while I poured my fruit. It was so much fruit. Berries are just, they're so little. There was like a million of them. So when we're posting about like groups or coaching or trying to get people into a group of some kind, like again, sharing success stories about you or about somebody else on your team or something like that, rather than being like the salesy post, because we don't want to be like the It Works people who just like throw up all their products in a picture and they're like, this is on sale. No, we want to be like, oh my gosh, I feel awesome. This is great. I have finally gotten a handle on my nutrition and it's simple again and that kind of thing. So you guys do you have this PDF with this?
I don't think I do.
I can put it in the group, but I think it's good because, so we want to be posting 3 to 5 times a day, and that can be like reaching from Instagram, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. But this is good for like if you're stuck and you can't think of what you want to post. It has some good ideas of just kind of like there's repeated things, but
What are you doing? I am so sorry.
okay, she's a child. It's dinner time. So anyway, so this has like themes for the day at the bottom, like Motivation Monday, Transformation Tuesday. Like you can just do kind of silly things, but it gives you just like some ideas so that, because people aren't going to believe anything we say if we say something wrong. So to build the trust, we need to be posting more often. And just being consistent about it is what is going to help people trust us. So if you're not posting 3 to 5 times a day, that's okay. But like maybe try this week, try to do 2 posts a day, or like when we start the new Core to Force group, like when we start the workouts, like post about them, like that's an easy share, because they're going to crush you. So you're going to want to tell people about it. So let's see. So I kind of touched on this already, like thinking about what your avatar wants to hear and wants to see. And like anytime you're typing something up, like thinking about like, would you stop and read it? Because if you wouldn't even stop to read it, then you should change it. And you always want to make sure that like you're spinning things positively. So like you had a really hard workout, that's great. And you can look exhausted, but still look happy about it. Or if you like had a really long day at work, you can be like, oh my gosh, this was the longest day ever. But luckily I already planned my meals out. Like I already prepped my food and it's in the fridge and I don't have to think about what I'm going to do for dinner. And then like some of the financial sides, like if you have like unexpected car repair, like, oh, this stinks. Luckily I have like my side piece that I'm working on that can help me make up the financial side. So you can still like talk about the things that are hard while spinning it in a way that it will be positive for people. So that is, I think that is important, because sometimes people just post like that things are terrible or hard or sucked or whatever, and then they don't spin it. They just leave it there, and it's like, and nobody felt good reading that. So you want to make sure people feel good when they leave your post. So that's all I have for that. What are you struggling with anything when it comes to posting, or like struggling for ideas or anything like that?
I think that sorry, I didn't brush my hair after I showered. I have this huge knot. I look terrible. The thing you posted with ideas is helpful. I can't do 3 to 5 times a day. My goal is twice a day. 3 to 5 times is a lot for me. And then I'm always like, and since I'm so behind in a different time zone, it's like by the time I wake up, it's like 1 o'clock on the East Coast.
You know what though? I don't know that matters as much as people say it does, because I notice, especially like on Instagram, my posts that are at random ass times, or especially if I like don't post my dinner picture until like 10 o'clock our time, those sometimes are my most viewed and most liked posts. So I don't know if it's something with like the other populations that are on Instagram, like Australia and like the other time zones.
Gotcha.
But I wouldn't let the timing hold you back from posting. I know what you mean. It is tough to like get up there, but so just make your goal be 2.
Yeah, that's my goal. And I also try to be like somewhat funny. Did you see my post before? I don't know. You didn't see it?
But no, I haven't been home for a while.
It was a picture of Joel, and it said, "I get to work out with this beautiful person for the next month." I don't know. I try to be like funny in it too. That it's not like as in, I don't know, because some posts are like super annoying.
Yeah, but I think they're annoying I think if you can say like something that's purposeful in it, it doesn't have to be like, even if it's just like about a healthy snack, like, oh my gosh, it's so easy to ever do this or something. Like I've gotten in the habit of asking questions at the end to make it, and then people are more likely to interact. Yeah.
I know. I need to get better about that and what to post. Yeah. But that like post. What was that?
I'll post it in the group.
Yeah, that PDF would be real helpful.
I've seen it before, but then I don't know. But I just need to print it out and like stick it on my wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you have brain block, it can help.
Yeah. I know Steph's struggling with that too.
Yeah.
She said she's out right now, but she's going to listen to the call.
Okay, cool.
Okay, can you still schedule posts? I know you used to be able to schedule posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
That helped me last time I was a coach in posting, was like when I knew a work day was coming up, I could schedule a few posts while I was at work. Yeah. Then I'd hop on Facebook when I got a chance. I was like, oh, I forgot I scheduled that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Sometimes people will tell me that, or like I post in like the Healthy Habits group or something. Like I'll be with Lauren and she'll be like, oh, you just posted in the group, and we'll be like at TJ Maxx. And I'm like, oh, that was sweet of me.
Yeah.
So Hootsuite is one that's free. And it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's HOOTSUITE.com. And then I use Buffer. It's buffer.com. It's $10 a month. And I think especially, I was questioning whether or not I needed it anymore, but I think since I'm going to transition back to the Facebook groups, I will be using it more. I didn't use it for like a couple months.
I canceled mine for a little bit because I was using the app, and then I kind of took a hiatus of running groups.
Yeah, I think that I think I'm going to like Facebook more. It's easier. It seems easier to navigate. And I'm going to make that PDF or like that editable document so we can track stuff. And hopefully that will fill the gap. Because people really, like, some people liked that it wasn't on Facebook just for the fact that it wasn't on Facebook. But for the most part, the feedback that I got was that they liked that they could track stuff more easily. So, doesn't seem more important. Yeah. All right. Well, what else is going on? Anything?
Nope. Got crazy dogs. Oh, she's all wet now.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hit stop.